great. But unfortunately, there's still a lot of those physicians, just like the one you mentioned, where they are just misinformed and unwilling to become educated.
Well, I think that a lot of it has to do with the federal stance on the subject as well. She can't honestly give me any advice on the subject because she can't prescribe me anything on the subject as well.
That's correct. That's correct. So
it
Kevin,
might not even be in her benefit to learn.
Oh, it's not. It's absolutely not. But well, because they haven't figured out how to monetize it yet, too, right? I mean, that's another podcast
That's
for another
true.
day. So I'm going to ask you a personal question, if you don't mind, man. And you don't have to answer it. But my first question to you is, and I'm a medical cannabis patient. I'm a medical cannabis card holder here in Georgia and in Florida, too. Are you a medical cannabis patient here in Georgia?
No, I don't have access to it. Absolutely not.
Okay.
It's too expensive for me to even begin to try.
Yeah, and that's part of what we're trying to work against and trying to solve that issue for our veteran community is, we know that we can't get access at the VA, and that's what we were fighting for yesterday, right? The choice and access provided through the VA. So one of the things that we're trying to do is to raise money by having people donate to Veterans for Cannabis and now our new nonprofit, Veterans for Collaboration Foundation, so that we can actually take care of and pay for the doctor appointment for the veteran, pay for their state-issued ID card, and potentially offer them some discounts and rebates to be able to cover their medicine. If we were able to get that done, would you be interested in being a part of that program?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you've got my promise that moving forward from here. We met yesterday, which was beautiful, and I'm really excited about where we're going in the future and working together. But we're going to make sure that we're going to do everything we can to take care of you as a patient, as a brother in arms, and as a veteran. That your country should lift you up, have a hand up instead of a handout. That's what we want to do, is help you. Help yourself out and help you find that access, because I don't know if you saw or not, but the Georgia Medical Cannabis Commission just got released today. They finally named the members of that commission.
Excellent. They're actually paying attention.
They are. It took us 5 years
awesome.
to get cultivation passed, and now the commission's finally up and running. Well, essentially it was named. I don't think it's running yet, but it was definitely named today, and we're moving in the right direction. So by this time next year,
that means it's time to get seeds in the ground.
Absolutely. By this time next year, you and I are going to schedule another podcast in 1 year, and we're going to have a conversation, and we're going to talk about medical cannabis that we got right here in the state of Georgia, legally, that was grown here, issued here, and we didn't have to pay for it because we had some really great people that came to the forefront and helped us, cover the cost of that medicine and the access that we're trying to fight for too.
It's going to be a great time.
It is. It's going to be a great time. So I was thinking about your background and wanted to talk a little bit about your service. So when you were in the Navy, you served 5 years. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So where all did you go in that 5 years? Were you just in Jacksonville, or were you at a number of different locations?
So I've been to Greece, Suda Bay, Diego Garcia. And that's about it.
Wow.
I mean, I've flown through a few places, but not really been off the boat too much.
Well, I mean, Greece and Diego Garcia, those aren't bad places to be. As people would say, it does not suck, right?
Well, Suda Bay was pretty awesome. Diego Garcia is it's a place to drink. That's what it's pretty much the place to drink. It's definitely that.
That's funny. That's so funny. So,
it's a sailor's dream.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about you, and I just wanted to, learn a little bit more about what you're doing here in Georgia now. What do you do as a profession now? What do you enjoy doing the most?
So currently, I'm an entrepreneur. I have been building Blue Lotus Auto Repairs. It is my company. It's a mobile auto repair service that we come to you. But we recently just opened a location on the Bells Ferry 92 intersection,
Okay.
and we're now starting to do in-house work as well. So if you got anything broken, there isn't anything I can't fix. I was trained by the Navy.
There you go, man. There you go. So what did you do in the Navy?
So I was a diesel technician, hydraulics technician, refrigeration technician, sewage, unfortunately, technician.
Hey, Bro, you don't have to
I've worked
apologize
on.
to me. Look, I did all the testing of the water and all the haz waste disposal and all that stuff on base. So I'll tell you right now, neat little story. In tech school, we actually go to this haz waste facility. It's a water treatment plant, right? So out of that water treatment plant where all the nasty, dark, black water goes in that we know is full of
Nice.
what? On the back end of that, when it's treated, it gets pumped back out into the river. So during tech school, we actually had the choice to actually drink the water coming right out of the end of that tap. I did not. I will say that I did not, but my buddy Wags did, who just retired after 21 years of service too. So he's still alive, thank goodness. Not sure if he's. I'm sure he's lost a few brain cells after that as well. That's so funny.
Yeah, as the person who worked with the sewage, I've had to be up to my neck in human black water.
So gosh, man. We're definitely going to do another follow-up podcast on that one, man. That's pretty crazy. So, I think about you and I think about the work that you do, and I can't even imagine what it's got to be like for the myotonic dystrophy. Is that what it's called? Is that correct? What you're diagnosed with?
Yes, sir. So basically, it's like fainting goat syndrome for humans.
Oh,
basically,
wow.
what this does, in a stress situation, it causes a micro seizure of the muscles while you're still consciously aware of what's going on.
Okay.
But unfortunately, you're now in a fixed, awkward position that you can't move from.
Oh, wow. Man, my heart goes out to you, Kevin. I can't even imagine what you go through on a daily basis. And I first and foremost thank you for sharing your story on this podcast today, because it means the world to me. And I saw you yesterday. I got to shake your hand. I got to give you a hug and got to be a part of something larger than you and I. And that's what this is about. It's about making those connections. It's about working together and making it happen. I got to meet your business partner yesterday. And the one thing that I'm excited about is you've got all this experience with refrigeration, diesel mechanics, all this good stuff. What if we can get together and win a license to cultivate medical cannabis, or maybe start an extraction facility for industrial hemp-based products here, and continue on with this legacy and fighting for people and giving them the access they need in a product that's reputable and something they believe in.
One of the things that I am most proud of about every business that I'm a part of is that it's veteran owned.
Absolutely, brother.
I completely believe that hemp it's going to save us from ourselves with the destruction of our environment. It's the one plant that provides pretty much everything that you can think of: clothing, plastics. Some people are saying that fuel can be made from it. It provides health benefits, and now we're finally cultivating it. And Porsche made a car out of it.
Yeah,
they say Henry Ford made a car out of it.
Well, I mean, you look at all the parts that are in VWs, all these parts, the dashboards, all this stuff is made from hemp, and that's right now happening. We're going to start producing that in the United States.
Exactly. The oil companies are holding their breath.
They sure are.
They're going to lose a customer.
That's so true. Kevin, I'll tell you what, man, we're primed. We're going to do some great things together, and I'm really looking forward to working with you in the future. If our listeners want to get a hold of you, how can they reach out and contact you?
So you can find me on Facebook. We're actually Blue Lotus Automotive Repairs. Any message you send on there, I read directly. And you can also find me. Kevin Hall is my public figure page. On there, I post about car fixing, stuff like that. I talk about philosophy, and a lot of the times I'm also advocating for marijuana legalization because that's what I'm about. I'm about getting the truth out there.
It is. And Kevin, it's about this cannabis movement and making sure that we're all in this same boat together and rowing it together for a Navy guy, right?
Absolutely.
Kevin,
you can also find me on Google.
Okay, beautiful.
I'm number one on Google.
Oh, that's what I like to hear right there. Our listeners are going to look you up and try to find you as we get off of there. And like I said, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Joshua Littrell signing off with the Veterans for Cannabis podcast. Kevin Hall is our guest today. Kevin, you're a brother. Thank you so much. Looking forward to catching up with you soon.